to give a certain message, but I'm trying to... Okay, here we go. So today I want to talk about the importance and power in honoring yourself. See, we come into this world honoring ourselves, and then we go on, we're here to experience life. We begin to get electrical signals from our environment. We begin to get certain thoughts in our head. We begin to see things. But I want to give you an example. Okay, first of all, let me just say this. This is the most important message that anyone that is looking for self, or wanting to understand knowledge of self or spirituality, or getting a sense of truth or a belief system, this is the most important message that you can motherfucking keep into your mind, is to honor yourself. And what I mean by that is, we come into this world honoring ourselves, right? Like I just said, imagine you're a child, right? And as a child, you see your mother get beat up by your father, or vice versa. And your first instinct is going to say, oh wow, you're that electrical signal sent to you through your sights, or through what you hear, or whatever, that electrical signal sent to you is going to tell you, first mind, no, that's not right, something's wrong. And then imagine yourself as a child seeing that, but the next day seeing your mother and father making up like everything is okay. And then that happens over and over and over, as far as repetition. What do you think the child is then going to express? Now, genetics plays a part in it, but also just the way that the person took that plays a part in it. They could take it like, damn. Like, the first mind is going to tell them that's fucked up. Then they start to program themselves. They start to make it make sense in their mind. They start to cope with it and be like, okay, it must not be bad, or maybe that's how we're supposed to do things. They start to give the excuses to program themselves so they can feel secure within that. We have to realize that we can reprogram ourselves. We can go back to certain events, things that happen throughout our childhood, or even in our adult life. We can go back to those things and gain a healthier perspective, a healthier way of life, a healthier way of looking at things. And most of the pain that you see in the world, or the people that cause pain to other people, it is only because they have not done the inner work of honoring themselves, of staying true to their authenticity. And that most likely is because of the experiences that we had. We have to get back to that first mind, that first thought, and honoring that. I know it's hard because as a child, your family, your parents around you, the community, sometimes they don't look at you and respect you, right? Because you're a child, you think, oh, they think you don't know nothing. Your child knows a lot. Your child is a divine being. The child within you, the child within us, is divine. It is our true self. And in order to get in tune with that, you have to start to honor yourself. You have to start to reprogram yourself to your highest capacity. And anytime somebody is honoring themselves, they're not trying to physically, mentally, verbally, spiritually, emotionally hurt someone. I can't really say emotionally, because you need to take control of your own emotions, your own spirits that's within you. But you would not verbally or physically harm someone else. You don't want that done onto you. So we have to really get in tune with that authenticity, because sometimes it could be in the form of relationships, a cult. It could be in the form of your family, your friends, that's trying to tell you how you should be or who you are. And when those things happen, we either resonate with it or we don't. But sometimes that resonation is on the surface, and we have not done the work to go deeper within us to say, you know what? Truthfully, that truthfully don't resonate with me. It sounds good. It sounded like something that I wanted to listen to or to take on, but it truthfully don't resonate with the divine being that's within me. We have to educate our people on knowing how to be in tune with that, be in tune with their righteous self, their higher self, you know, and the God within them, their gut, their heart, their intuition, okay? Because so, like, throughout life, we're just being programmed. Oh, this is how you should do things. Oh, this is the best way, and da 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 da. And sometimes you just accept it because that may be the highest perspective that you have at that point. But if you can go within, you can get a more divine perspective, so that you can make sure that you're walking and shining your light to the truest, you know, and shining your light as much as you can. You, if you honor yourself, you will never let another human dim your light. If you honor yourself, everybody in your reality must respect themselves and respect you in return. When you honor yourself, you'll be like the first mind to say, oh, that wasn't right. You'll speak up. You honor yourself, you would never be around people that are making you feel less than, because you honor you. So I wanted to just say that because I truly believe that this is the biggest message that we can come across. And not only from my experience of being in a cult or being in different relationships, you know, because you can find yourself in cult-like relationships, monogamous relationships. And not only having that experience, you know, has taught me this, but I truly feel like this is the biggest message that most of our people, or especially our young people, need to hear nowadays, and even older people, because, you know, sometimes we're so caught up in even some doctrines and religions that we're not honoring ourselves. We're not staying true to ourselves, therefore we're not shining our light at the highest capacity. And you know, I believe that because there is so many people that are coming into certain knowledge or awareness, and they deem it to be their truth and stuff. They spread their message and they attract certain people that maybe don't have a sense of truth, that don't have the sense of self, that don't have a belief system that makes them feel secure. So these people that have strong personalities, or you know, a lot of charisma, or the gift of gab, you know, can speak whatever their belief system is, or whatever they read to think and they think is truth, or whatever sounds good, they can repeat it and they can attract our young people. And, you know, and through that they can indoctrinate them, and through that the young people can allow this person to program them in a certain way, just like they allowed their environment to program them. So I feel that the biggest message we can get is to honor ourselves, is to know how to get in tune with that true authentic self, so that you know that you will not deal with people that aren't respecting you. You would never fucking put yourself or stay in an environment that is demeaning you, that is degrading you, because you love yourself too much, you know. And if you don't, sometimes you put yourself into that environment, and it's sad to say, we do attract people to push us to loving ourselves, to push us to honor ourselves, you know. And sometimes we be like, oh, I just respect this person so much. They're giving me a sense of truth, a sense of feeling, of a sense of self. You know, the words that they speak just makes me feel good, that, you know, we begin to honor someone else before ourselves. And we cannot do that. That's where you go, and that's where you make a mistake. You can hear somebody saying something that sounds good. That does not mean that it's true to you. And a lot of people like myself, we are attracted to intellectuals. And I had to, and you know, and I guess the universe had to put me in a straight cult situation in order to really see my patterns. But I've always been, every relationship I've had, I've been drawn to the man for his mission and for his intelligence, something that I can learn. And oh my gosh, I never heard this before. I'm so attracted to you. You're so fucking smart. And I begin to honor them before myself. And I don't know if many people that get caught up in these type of situations, even when it comes to monogamous relationships, when you're with a man or a woman that's telling you who you are and how you should and shouldn't be, and you're accepting it, but you know deep down that that's not you. You know deep down that that's really, you don't want to go with that, but you're just accepting it because maybe you're respecting a person before you respect yourself. And I really feel that if we are able to get our young people, and I say young people, I mean, we're all young. We all have that child within us. If we're able to get that child or that child within us to understand the power and the importance of honoring who they are. Maybe we won't be in we won't put ourselves in certain situations where we're respecting someone else. You can come up if you got something to say. I mean, I hear your judgment, but like, this is exactly what I'm saying. When somebody comes in and tries to tell you who the fuck you are and what is going on with you and stuff like that, don't always be like, oh, I gotta entertain it. Don't be like, oh, maybe I'm weak. Like, you don't have to. Like, does somebody don't know you like you know yourself? And this is the problem, because when we come into this world, we are in tune with us. We are in tune with us. We start to get programmed by the people around you, your parents telling you that you ain't shit, you ain't never going to be shit, and telling you that this is the way, and then showing you certain things. You see your mother getting beat on, and you think that, you grow up to think it's something. I look at people, and this may be something I have to figure out, but anytime somebody says something to me, I go within now. I don't be like, oh, let me entertain that. Maybe that's right, and give all my energy and thoughts to it. I go within to see if it's right to me. And, with the weak shit, I don't feel like I'm weak at all. I'm not weak. I was in when I got myself in these situations, and like I said, I'm not about to explain myself, but it comes to us knowing ourselves as children, when it's abused or the abuser. Like, I believe that it starts from a child. It starts from your experiences in life. And I believe that everybody can get back to that true, authentic self. Your true, authentic self doesn't want to hurt someone. They don't want to, they don't want to hurt anyone physically, or spiritually, mentally, verbally. You're not really going to want to see someone else down. That child within you don't want to see that. They want to love. They want to accept. They want to, uplift you. They want you to do better, and if we can get in tune with that, we lose that at certain times, and I just gave an example, a child, seeing their mother get beat on, and then next day the mother and father is good, and keep seeing that over and over and over. That does something to a child's mind, and they're going to cope with it the way the fuck they feel like they need to cope with it. But if they can understand that certain times that you give yourself a perspective, or you start to cope with certain things that happen to you in life, it's not the healthiest way. And sometimes you have to reprogram that thought, or that perspective to something that really serves you. And so read your message again. Not necessarily saying you weak, you were speaking generally. No, I don't feel like the people are weak. They just don't know. They're just not honoring themselves, and a lot of times what we seek in other people is something that exists within us. And yeah, you can be attracted to a certain part of a person, charisma, intelligence, whatever you see in a person. And then once you start to, care for them and engage with them, exchange energy with them, you start to care about them or trust them, and you can get caught up in certain situations. So yeah, I don't believe it's just because somebody is weak. It's just because they're not honoring themselves, and it's probably because of the things that they've been through, and they haven't like reprogrammed themselves to, really love and respect themselves. So, but yeah, you can get into a situation, and this is why I say when it comes to cults or cult-like situations, it's a psychology thing. You do have to understand the psychology behind things and how people can get caught up in stuff. How people are attracted to the things that they're attracted to. And when it comes to cults or religion, it's more about, a belief system, a way of life that you feel that is the best way to go. Usually people that is caught up in cults that are not healthy, and they're not healthy because of the mental, verbal, physical manipulation or abuse. But other than that, you probably don't see that before you go there, or you don't believe that's happening. At the end of the day, you're attracted to something. In my case, and not just from this cult, but all my relationships, I've just been attracted to a man with a mission and a purpose, and I want to help. But I realize, and in intelligence. But I realized all that shit that I'm looking for in relationships is already within me. And if I honored myself, I would not even be romantically wanting to be involved with any man just because of his intelligence or because of his mission in life, and I've actually and it wasn't just because of this cult situation, because the cult situation was very complex. I'm a very complex person. It's different layers to it. It's not all bad, and I know a lot of people would like to look at it as all bad. It's really not. And if you look at it on a psychological level, you'll realize that these people just are not honoring themselves, and all of them, and they have programmed themselves, manipulated themselves to whatever the fuck they believe in. And so, and it actually just took, in the past month where I realized, like, oh yeah, I'm definitely choosing relationships, and this is not only romantic, but friends, family relationships, things like that, for the wrong reasons. And when I honor myself, then I would, when you honor yourself, you wouldn't put yourself in certain situations. Like, you would not put up with certain shit. Somebody talks to you crazy, you're not going to deal with it. You're not going to deal with it because you honor you. And this is all that our people have to get back to. I have enough compassion to say, you know what? I'm not going to call you weak. I'm not going to call you dumb. I'm not going to call you stupid. I'm not going to call you none of that. I'm just going to say that you need to honor yourself. And I can do that because I've been through it. And I've always said this. I feel that, we go through certain things in life to overcome them in order to help other people that may be going through it, that may have went through it, or that may go through it in the future. So just me having that ambition and desire to be able to work on myself and to be the best that I can be, I am dedicated to figuring it out. And I'm not going to just dismiss it as being only these people can be in that type of shit. Do you know you can be in a cult situation with your own relationship, with your own religion? So yeah, I just feel like the biggest message for our people would be that. And I keep saying it, but I wanna articulate it in a better way. And this is just all for me going within. I gotta go within even more. But this message has just, it's been on my heart since I left the cult, to honor yourself. This is why I changed my name, or I have a brand now. It's called Honor Yourself. But at the end of the day, I went to the store one time, and this girl was like, just looking at me how I dress and stuff, and it's like, oh, are you a spiritual? And she just seemed like she has so many questions about it. And she's very young, and I know that certain people that maybe don't have a belief system that they feel comfortable with, that, maybe brought up with trying to be Christian or whatever, like they're seeking, they're truth seeking, they're seeking the truth that resonates with them. And in that, if we have not done the inner work, or we have not been brought up around a tribe, a loving family, a community that really pours into us authentically. And I would say that we need, when we are building community, which we are right now, everybody's doing that. We should be doing that. We should be getting back to tribal living. This is just my beliefs, whatever you go within to figure out if it's true to you or if you resonate with it. But, bringing our children up in a loving environment that is understanding of them, because sometimes our family are indoctrinating us to say, you shouldn't be doing that, oh, that's stupid, blah 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 boo. But at the end of the day, if we can just understand a child from where they're at, everybody is their own fucking person, and the child wants to come into their authentic, stay at their authenticness. So we should love them, and we should give them morals. We should try to give them morals. But as far as, them being who they are, wanting to believe in what they believe in, as long as their morals are aligning with that, as long as they're not hurting other people, then that would be the best way to do things. But at the end of the day, right now, there's a lot of people that did not grow up with that has a lot of traumas, generational curses. So at the end of the day, we have to, I think the biggest message would be to let them realize the truth. Everything they're looking for exists within them. So learn how to honor you. Learn how to honor yourself so that you do not find yourself in situations that can be harmful to your mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, well-being. So that's the biggest message that I have, and I will continue to articulate that message. Honor yourself, period. And it's so beautiful, because When you honor yourself, that's showing true love, true understanding for self. And when you have that, you can attract people that show that right back to you. Yes. So that's the message for today. And I'm going